So hello everyone, welcome to the Sonya and Sacha show, our very first filmed podcast. How do you feel?
Oh, I don't want to say this too much, but I am excited because we're actually filming. Look how far we've actually come.
It's amazing, and we're very, very happy to be talking about. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about tips on what you're going to do if you are having a party for your teenager.
Hot topic, very hot topic, which I'm actually a bit of
an expert.
A little bit of an expert because
Yes,
I've been speaking about this for about the last 15 years with teenagers and parents and teachers and organisations around the country. So this is my absolute passion. I love this. So if you are going to have a party at your house, most people freak out about that actually when I've got to tell you, when I'm speaking to parents, they lose their tiny minds about
Okay, so there's a few things that we need to think about first. Firstly, cleaning the house. You spend weeks cleaning it, putting it together, making sure the backyard looks perfect. You're always going to have people that come over when your house looks the most amazing that it possibly can. So once we've done all of that,
yes,
okay, there's heaps of other stuff that we do.
Yes, let's get down to the really exciting stuff.
So, firstly, do we have alcohol there? That's a big one. So we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Then we're going to talk about what if we're getting the police involved, and not the actual bringing them over and having them part of the party.
Do you have a beer officer? No, none of
yes,
that. No,
but
that.
Do we let them know?
Definitely let them know.
Yes.
So I think that would probably be... So the first thing you would do is you need to sit down with your teenager, and I'm assuming that we're talking about teenagers here. Although I'm actually planning one for a 21st at the moment, so that's a bit easier in some respects because you don't have to sort of tend to worry about the underage element that much.
Can we also talk about the docking station versus the DJ?
Definitely.
Okay,
so there's a lot to cover. So first thing you would do is sit down with your young person and talk about how you feel and what sort of behaviour you would expect to have happen, what your expectations are for the party, what your rules are for the house, and what they want to have. And then there needs to be that lovely little common ground that you meet on. So we don't have any tempers and tantrums on the nights, all sorted out, okay? And you go through stage by stage. How many people will be coming? How are they invited? And we need to think about protecting ourselves now because we've got a lot of situations where gate crashes are happening, gate crashes are coming in. We've got laws that we need to keep in mind, and we've got the safety of the young people that you're inviting to the party. We've got to make sure that we don't have, peed off parents knocking on our door the next day saying, excuse me, what happened last night? I'm not very happy. So we've got a lot of those.
That's the number one priority to have it fun, and so that they can remember it for the rest of their life. Because everyone talks about my 18th, my 16th, my 21st.
Of course. So sitting down and having that little meeting at the start is a really great idea. And if it's going to be something like a 16th and 18th or a 21st, they are the big ones for young people. They are the really important milestone birthdays in their lives that they want them to be a great event. So get some friends on board to help as well. So get some of their friends and some of their maybe friends' parents to help and make it a really fantastic night. Make sure that we've got those safety and security procedures in place so that they're safe, but they have an amazing, awesome party. And we don't end up on a current affair with, glasses and a hoodie like...
No.
What's his name? Corey Worthington.
So it's okay as a parent. So if I'm the parent, it's okay for me to get my friends involved and...
Absolutely. Now there's a line. We don't want your friends coming in and doing a dance line in the middle of the thing. We do not. You're out on the periphery of things.
Okay.
You're there for helping, but you're not there to get involved in the actual,
party.
Yes. We do not want you busting moves in the middle of the dance floor. That's what we're saying. Okay.
So it's not about me.
It's certainly not about you. Yes, it's all about the young people.
Okay.
All right. So first thing, you've had your meeting. Second thing is you would register the party with the police. Now you can actually do that in all states in Australia. You go to the police station, or in some places you can do it online, and you register. You're going to have a party at your house, and you register it. Now there's great things that happen as a result of this. And there's a form that you fill out, and you be really honest. How many people are coming? How are they invited? Is there alcohol? What are the age groups? Start time, finish time. Have the neighbours been notified? There's a lot of different questions that they'll ask you to fill out and be really honest about that. What police hate if they have to attend parties is the unknown. They don't like walking into, what am I going to face here?
Yeah.
They like walking into it. We've got a contact person. We've got information about this party, and we know what to expect a little bit. Okay? So fill that out. That lets the police know that there's going to be a party happening on that particular night. And if there are other parties happening in that suburb, then they can roster on extra staff to make sure that that's covered. They will drive past the house a couple of times. I nearly said do a drive-by, but that's actually a crime. They will drive past your house a couple of times during the night to make sure that you're okay. They will not come in unless you ask them to. Yeah. But if there's a gate crashing situation or something's gone wrong at the party, the first thing you do is get on the phone to the police, 000, my party's registered, I need you to get here quickly.
And then they'll know what's happening.
And they will know exactly what's happening. They'll know. They've got a contact person. They know your address. They've got all the details. They will get there as soon as they possibly can. Okay.
So should you tell everyone that you've told the police that the party's actually happening? Because if they have them driving past a couple of times throughout the night, is anyone going to think, oh, they're stalking us, they're making life a little bit difficult?
Cops are onto us. Yeah. Yes. I think it's a great idea. And for two reasons. One is because of that. And the other one is because if you're going to invite people to your party via social media, then it's too easy for people to... So a lot of young people will say, all of the young people that I speak to say, how will you invite people to your party? Facebook. Facebook what? Private event. Now, everyone has to understand there's no such thing as private event anymore because people are getting hold of the invitation who shouldn't be seeing it, screenshot, copy, paste, taking a photo, and they're sending it out to the world.
But if that's why everyone's doing it, then how are we supposed to do it privately?
That's my tip. So, in the invitation, you would say, party is registered with the police, invitation required, and security present. So there's three little things that you would add.
Does that look a bit stupid if you say party is registered with the police? Like, are you registering your party?
Well, yes, I am actually.
And you're going to put that on the invitation?
I don't think we will because we're the 21st. We're the 21st birthday.
I understand.
We're talking about teenagers here.
Yeah, I understand.
And we're talking about, you might think that's really uncool.
No,
I get it.
I'm not saying I think it's not uncool.
Well,
I just think that if I got an invitation to an 18th or a 16th that it said police registered on it, I might think, okay, parents are a bit overprotective.
Well, and okay, so what?
Yeah,
would you rather have that than have a massive incident happen with your young person and
I would rather that.
So be quiet.
Yeah.
Now,
okay. All right, I'll go there with you. I just don't want.
I know you.
It's all about. No, it's not about the coolty. I'm just thinking, if I've got my kids, I want them to have the coolest party ever. I don't want everyone going, cops are coming already. That's how they're going to talk about the party before it even starts.
I totally agree, but that also says to them, well, we can't invite 17 of our friends and people who aren't invited because it's registered with the police and that there will be security there and you will need to bring your invitation. It's just those little tiny safety things that actually will make a difference.
Okay. All right.
Now,
I understand.
You can put it in small, fine print if you decide.
Yeah.
It should be there to send a message. Now, so you've registered the party with your police. The invitation has to go out. It has to be information about start time, finish time. Have those little things that I just said to you in place to make sure that everyone understands that this thing is organised.
Are we still having paper invitations?
No.
No, not at all.
No,
Zero. Okay.
Actually, there's been a bit of a resurgence in the paper invitation for 21st.
Okay. Because it looks cool.
It looks beautiful. Yep. And it's a little keepsake for them to have. So you'll send your save the date out on Facebook.
Yep.
And then you'll have your invitation in
okay.
there. Now, if you're going to do paper invitations, don't do little plain paper invitations because people photocopy them and send them out as well.
Yeah.
So I was at a school where they had a party for 80 people. They said that they were telling me this school in the country, they'd had a party for 80 people. They had it at the local recreation centre. And someone got hot, and it was in sort of just outside of Mildura. And they had this party invitation that was really easy to photocopy. Photocopied 800, sent them. More than like a couple of thousand, I think they sent out. 800 people showed up to this party that they were ready for 80 to come, and it was a disaster. It ended up on the news, and people were doing burnouts, and people knocked over fences. It was crazy.
Did it get on the news?
Yes, of course. A little country town and massive crazy parties.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Okay, so party invitations. Now, next thing is, are you going to serve alcohol or are you not? Now, in every state in Australia, you will have laws according to that state that are specific to, are you allowed to serve alcohol to underage people in your house? Now, the east coast of Australia, so we're talking Queensland, New South Wales, ACT, Victoria, Tasmania, are all on the same page in terms of this. Secondary supply law says you are not allowed to...
We're doing very well as a country, I think.
Yes. You are not allowed to serve alcohol to an underage person unless there are either parent supervision or permission from the parents.
Yep.
Okay, so that means that if your young person who's underage and is going to drink alcohol on a private property, they will need a note, text message, email, or a conversation that happens between their parents and the host parents. Okay? Now, there are significant fines if alcohol is served to an underage person in a private house without parental permission. And we're talking, even in Victoria, it's $7,000.
Okay, so we need that little piece of paper.
We need that permission.
Because for $7,000, that's more than the party.
Correct. And as a host, we need to check whether we have underage people coming, and we need to check whether we have their permission before the party happens, because people are suing each other for crazy stuff.
So, out there in the world now, are people emailing each other saying,
Absolutely.
yes,
Parents
you know,
are calling.
my friends, my children can have a drink at your party or whatever.
Parents
Is
are
people
calling
doing
and
that?
there are notes, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, teenagers are forging notes,
Yeah.
but if the police arrive, then that's actually going to be checked, right? When the police come to check, if they've had information to say that there's an underage drinking party happening, then they're going to go there and they're going to check notes and check whether permission is there. They're not there just there to say, oh, yeah, everyone's okay, yeah, okay, ciao.
So do you keep it in your pocket? Here's my note from my parents.
Wherever you like.
Okay.
So permission is
I'm just kind
really
of
important.
asking because I want my child to have the best party ever.
Permission is really important. Do you have alcohol? Don't you? You need to check your local laws. Now, a couple of little tips about having the actual party. Have security. There are many reputable companies where you can hire your own crowd controllers.
Yep.
But you need to have a chat with them beforehand to make sure that they are onto it. They know what they're doing. They are not going to run off in a crying state if something goes wrong.
No.
Which has happened.
Yep.
So we need to have great security. You need to tell them what you expect and they have to tell you what the laws are.
Okay.
You can get your friends to help. You can get everyone's got the Uncle Bob that looks like a big tank, and you stick him on the door and you don't let Uncle Bob drink because that's a bit scary. You leave him on the door and he is sober and he checks invitations as people are coming in and he's a nice host and he just makes sure that everything's running smoothly.
Wears a black suit so it looks a little bit professional.
Absolutely. And then if you're going to serve alcohol, have it coming out from one place in the party only, so don't have it available all over the place, so you've got some control over it. And you have Uncle Bill behind the bar. He's also like
Bill and
about
Bob?
the same as Uncle Bob in stature, and he stays sober, and he's got an understanding of what's happening in terms of the alcohol content in the group. Is everyone going a bit crazy? Right, we need to pull the service back.
So we don't
actively promote non-alcoholic beverages
lots of
as
water,
well.
lots of
water,
cans of Coke.
mocktails. Mocktails are an amazing hit. You grab a blender and start putting some stuff together. They will have no idea there's no alcohol in there. They'll just love it. Stick an umbrella in, off you go. So have a bit of control. Food is really important because tummies. So with food, it slows down the absorption of the alcohol and keeps everybody a little bit more of an.
So we're not just talking about a couple of chicken nuggets here. You want some?
We want some solid, good food. Now you need to walk around with it because if there's a table, they won't walk up and get it. Okay. Girls will not walk up to a table and eat. You need to serve it around like that. Okay. And it's a good way of parents actually seeing what's going on. So you come over with you and say, hello, have a sausage roll. What are you up to?
So we're not like get the lasagna, put it on the dish. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work.
We need to actively walk
around. Okay. There's some really good ideas. I like that.
Safe tummies.
Because I'd probably still go the lasagna and the good old fried rice, a bit of salad.
And bottles of water. They won't pour out jugs of water. It has to be bottles of water.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there's a few little tips. So we'll leave it there this time because this is going to be a two-parter, I think, because there's lots of information to talk about here. So part 2, we'll talk about the actual what to do, in the middle and at the end of the party. But we hope you have got lots of information about that. And please check out our website, sonyaandsacha.com.au for further information. Bye.
Bye-bye.